Actually, no, it's a jump ball, so it should be a new shot clock.
No, 20 seconds.
Okay.
Yep, 20 seconds on the jump ball. So Ariel Williams will get the ball back here. No change of possession. 17 left on the shot clock. Now, Justice Coleman gets the ball left side to Perrymore and another unforced turnover.
Prairie View trying to add on to the three-point lead right now.
18-15, 6:32 remaining here in this first quarter of play, and Justice Coleman tipped the ball instead of grabbing it and comes back out to Prairie View.
She thought Ariel Williams was going to keep running, so she was going to tip it out to her, but a little miscommunication.
Now Prairie View with the basketball.
Corner three ball, and that's good.
3-pointers now, 21-15.
Bernicia Peters with that three ball. She now has 6 points in this contest. Hope goes in, drawing a lot of contact, but no whistle call.
And now Prairie View with the basketball.
Ball blocked by Ariel Williams, but Prairie View able to come down with it.
Shot is up and no good. Grambling with the basketball, 21-15. Lady Tigers need a bucket. And here is Ariel Williams with a shot up, no good. And Grambling loses the possession there, and it comes back to Prairie View. Now with the basketball is Bernicia Peters. 21-15 our score. 5:04 remaining here in the first half of play. That shot is up, no good. Ball is loose, and it comes down to Perrymore.
3-on-3.
And whistle. And I think we'll have a timeout here. 4:51 remaining in the first half of play, 21-15 our score. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. 1 minute. You are watching Grambling basketball on GSU TV and listening live on Rejoice 96.3 FM. We'll be right back. And welcome back here to the Frederick C. Hovde Assembly Center here on the campus of Grambling State University. Lady Tigers right now trail Prairie View A&M University 21-15. And what we've seen here so far, Donovan, is Grambling no consistency the way that Coach Murray wants to on offense as of yet. And one of the things I know that we talked about is he wants this team to get off to a fast start, control the tempo in the ball game. They've got a little size here in Prairie View, and so they can need to take advantage of that. Absolutely. You got to take advantage every way you can. They're doing a very good job on defense. The problem is converting that to offense. So they definitely have to be able to wake up on the offensive end if they want to get back into this ball game. Yancey with the basketball now. Rattles in and out, no good. And we've got a foul on Grambling. Prairie View will get the basketball back. Looks like that's going to be against Gideon, and that's going to be her first of the contest. And so for Kaylin Gideon, she's got one. That's the first team foul of the quarter. Still a 6-point deficit. Foul coming up on a reach. That's going to be on Justice Coleman, and she did not like the call. And for Justice Coleman, that would be her first personal. Coming in the ball game now for the Lady Tigers is going to be, looks like coming in the ball game will be Marquise Shabati. And now Prairie View with the basketball. Prairie View lineup, they've got Cobb coming into the contest. Controlling for Prairie View is Green. Pass inside, nice ball movement, and with the bucket, Keasia Williams. That was good ball movement down low.
Absolutely, nice ball movement, being able to keep the ball in a constant rotation, force them to move, and somebody's going to be open.
Grambling out the basketball, trailing 23-15. Been a while since they have scored in this second quarter. Inside to Marquise Shabani, up, no good. Foul coming up. And this time it's going to go to Prairie View A&M University. Cobb will get her personal, and that'll be her first personal. Second team on Prairie View, but that is a shooting foul, and so now Marquise Shabati will get a chance to shoot two. This could be her first 2 points of the ball game if she can hit these shots here, and Grambling will need them. Right now, the Lady Tigers coming into this contest, they are 7th in the league in scoring. They have the second best field goal defense. And guess who has number 1? Prairie View.
As Ariel Williams checks into the game now.
23-17, first couple of points in the ball game in over 3 minutes. And now Prairie View will control. Ariel Williams trying to get out in front of it. And Prairie View has busted the
full court press
and scores. And scoring is Cobb. She has 4 points now.
And that's the one thing you expose yourself to is the ball is knocked away.
Out of bounds, and it will go back to the other side.
What I was saying was when you open yourself up to such an aggressive press, somebody is always open down the floor. All you have to do is really pass out of it and keep your eyes down the court. Somebody's going to be open every time.
And now we got a discussion going on with the official, trying to determine what that's all about. So there is a short official's timeout as he's getting things straight at the scores table. He's trying to figure out, I think he's trying to figure out possession, and there was one other thing that he talked about here. So they have to go to the replay screen here. So I think they're looking at who the ball went out on.
They're doing that. I think it was clear as day who was out off of.
I think that's what they're doing to see if the ball was touched before it went out of bounds by another player. So while the officials are over on the sideline, just a reminder here that, of course, Grambling State University basketball returns to action Monday night when the Lady Tigers and the Tigers take on Texas Southern University. Game time will be at 5:30 for the women, and 7:30 for the men. And I think they were trying to determine where the ball went out of bounds, not who it went out of bounds on. And so Grambling has the basketball.
I think it was also a matter of the shot clock because now they have 22 seconds on the shot clock, or they started with 22 seconds.
Justice Coleman now with the basketball, getting it to Yancey, looking inside. Yancey will dribble now with the penetration, loses the basketball, comes down to Prairie View, and Green has control of the basketball. Green now trying to get a little pass out to Williams, and that thing was smoking, and it goes out of bounds back to Grambling. Ball goes sailing into the stands, as a matter of fact.
We call that head hunting.
Man, 4 or 5 rows up in the stands. So now Grambling will get the ball back, 3:04 remaining until halftime. Paramore with the basketball, now driving, and she's fouled. And now it will be Grambling going to the free throw line. No, it's not going to be a shooting foul. Should be Grambling ball under their own goal. As you see Paramore driving.
That foul was on, I think they call it on Peters.
That'll be her first personal. 25-17 the score, 2:41 remaining. Want to welcome our audience, of course, on Rejoice 96.3 FM, as well as redpeachsports.com. Thank you for listening. And a steal here by Prairie View A&M University. Coming away with it is Newman. He goes in, she goes in for the shot. Up, good, and a foul coming up. That was a great steal by Newman, and Markeisha Body is going to get the foul. And for Body, that'll be her second personal? No, first personal.
Newman actually stared down Body after the and one, so that caught the attention of one of the referees, and it was like, that's your one warning.
Yep, that's called taunting. Can't do that. And now coming into the ball game is Alexis Holt. She will replace Ariel Williams with 2:34 remaining in the first half of play. Grambling trailing 27-17. 10-point deficit now for the Lady Tigers.
Absolutely, and they definitely have to make some better or more corrections on defense, and they also have to be able to get points on the board. That's the name of the game. You got to score points. As the second free throw was good, Grambling State now going the other way. Ball almost stolen out of there by Peters, but it's going to stay with Grambling State. And you can kind of see it now. Prairie View is turning up on defense.
28-17, and I'll tell you what, this team has had their struggles this season. But right now, you can tell they are all in control of this ball game. They have taken control of the tempo, and that's the biggest thing. Paramore tried to get the ball, but it was thrown away. And it comes back to Grambling State University. Well, O.J. Morris and Donovan Travis, you guys will be talking about the league championship games coming up at halftime. And we have a timeout on the floor, and I believe this is going to be is it a 30 or a full timeout here? It's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we're going to keep it right here with 2:09 remaining here in this first half of play. So, yeah, you guys will be talking about the league championship games. Of course, ye old Green Bay Packers will be playing against San Francisco. My wife will sit on one side of the couch. I'll sit on the other. And then Kansas City and Tennessee. Tennessee's a scary team.
A very scary team, and all because it's one man behind in the backfield, Derrick Henry. And one thing that actually stuck out to me was Shannon Sharp. He said problems can get solved.
Yep.
Derrick Henry, he's an issue.
Yes.
So you definitely have to be able to, find something that's going to get him. But honestly, if anybody's to do it, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And that Kansas City offense.
Next women's basketball game, Monday, January the 20th, 5:30 p.m. against Texas Southern University. It is Martin Luther King Day. Make sure that you come on out to the Frederick C. Hobby Assembly Center as some great basketball played here. TSU coming to town. Sandy Pugh, of course, was at Southern University before making the move to Prairie View A&M. And we have a little bit of a
clock issue.
Pause for the cause. Not quite sure how much time was left. (28-17), Grambling on top. Yeah, a little bit of a clock issue going on right here.
They did that because they were keeping track of how much time the timeout was, and so they were letting it go down.
So it's 1:52 left. 2:09 left.
Eight seconds on the shot clock now, so Grambling State has to work. And the ball stolen by Peters, and she's going to be able to go in for it. Oh, she blew the layup.
And the shot is up and good now, 30-17. Grambling trailing by 13 here at home. to Prairie View A&M. And boy, some tenacious defense, and they'll call a foul. And that is going to be coming up on Dominique Newman.
Newman can't believe it, but she actually did trip up Ariel Williams on the loose ball. So, yes, that is a foul.
I'm hoping for a Green Bay and Kansas City Super Bowl.
That sounds very interesting.
Lots of reasons. Obviously, Green Bay.
Obviously.
Kansas City. Oh, that's an over and back violation. And now the ball goes back to Prairie View.
And some more extracurricular activity by Deanna Rosenthal. She tried to swipe the ball away from Ariel Williams, and Ariel was not having it.
I got a feeling that Coach Murray is not going to be happy here at halftime.
I wouldn't be.
30-17 our score. Three-point bucket coming up here, and that is Peters. And it's now 33-17. Wow.
Prairie View is playing their game. They've gotten to a rhythm. They're playing their mode of basketball.
And a turnover. This time in the paint. Coming away with the basketball will be Perez. Now over to Peters, another three-pointer. She misses this one. And coming away with the basketball will be Alexis Holt. Holt across the free throw line. Alexis Williams with the basketball, turnover, and Paramore comes away with it. Three-pointer on the way. It's up, it's no good. And Justice Coleman with the rebound for the Grambling Lady Tigers. Shot by Paramore up, rattles in and out, no good. And Peters with the rebound for the Lady Panthers. Grambling cannot buy a bucket. 36 seconds remaining in the half. 33-17 Prairie View. Oh, that's going to be over and back. And Coach Pugh not happy about that. So here's the deal on over and back, and one of the players says, well, the body is over. It's not where the body is at, it's where the ball is at. So once that ball goes across that half-court line, your body can be on one side as long as the ball is not. It just happened, as a matter of fact, right before this possession, is one of the Grambling players had their body on one side, ball was on the other.
Grambling State really can hold for the last shot here if they want to.
Shot up and good by Yancey, 17 seconds remaining here in the first half. 33-19 the score. Prairie View moving the ball, 5 seconds remaining, 33-19, 3 seconds remaining. Three-pointer on the way by Martin, up no good, and we're at halftime with the score. The Grambling Lady Tigers trailing 33-19. For our TV audience, we will see you coming up beginning of the second half. For our radio audience, we'll take a 2-minute timeout, our end of the first half break. As a matter of fact, it's going to be break number 204, break number 204. Timeout on the floor. We'll take this timeout. We'll be right back. And welcome back here to the Frederick C. Hamdi Assembly Center here on the campus of Grambling State University. And of course, first half, well, the Grambling Lady Tigers started off all right. You see Justice Coleman able to get a layup on the replay we just saw. And then, of course, they were running the floor pretty well. Paramore was able to get a few things done as we're just now starting the second half. But Prairie View really started doing some things. 3-point buckets. They weren't able to get a lot in the first half until later on, but they were able to get a lot of rebounds. And now Grambling with the basketball. Yancey has the ball knocked out of her hands, and they'll come back to Prairie View A&M University. 33-19 is our score. Grambling, they've got to stop with the turnovers. You look at that first half of the ball game, Donovan, with turnovers. And was it somewhere? 12 turnovers, 17 points off of turnovers. Grambling with just 5. Of course, Grambling being dominated in the paint. You would think that'd be the other way around, 16-8. 9 second chance points, none for the Lady Tigers. Got to play from behind here in the second half. They're losing the basketball. Justice Coleman, nice little fake, takes a shot up, no good. And coming over with the basketball for Prairie View A&M.
Another thing that stands out is Prairie View's bench is actually outscoring Grambling's bench by a score of 15-5.
Absolutely. Williams with 9 points for Prairie View. Also Peters with 9 points. For the Lady Tigers, Paramore with 6, and that's just about all for the score.
And a turnover right there. Keisha Williams threw the ball to Casper.
Yeah, because there was nobody there.
Just some miscommunication on the Lady Panthers side.
That's going to be offensive foul, yeah.
That's going to be Ariel Williams. That's going to be her second. Lady Panthers working with the ball now. Nice little mid-range shot, and that's good. Tatiana Perez. That's her first bucket of this contest now. Prairie View on top, 35-19.
Paramore with the bucket. Up, no good. Goes out of bounds and back to Prairie View A&M.
Looked like she was trying to get the ball up to Forte, but just out of her reach.
Lady Tigers now back on defense. But we were talking about football earlier, and the question that I have for you, as Grambling, great defense by Yancey, blocking the ball inside. Now to Paramore, she loses the ball, and Prairie View comes away with it. And now thrown away, trying to get it out to 23, Kennedy Paul, and boy, the ball just went up and down the floor with nobody who wanted it.
Ball just had a mind of its own.
Who has more pressure to win on Sunday? Green Bay, Kansas City, Tennessee, San Francisco.
Honestly, I don't think Tennessee has anything left to prove. Everything else from this point is already icing on the cake. A 6 seed making it to championship weekend.
Giants did that before.
Exactly. So, honestly, I believe the pressure is more so on the, I was about to say Giants. I say the 49ers.
Shot up and good. Jasmine Forte with the bucket. She now has her first 2 points of the ball game. Cross-court pass. Shot up no good. Forte blocks it out of bounds. Prairie View with 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Excellent defense over there by Forte, being able to block that shot. Now you have to hold for 5 more seconds.
Shot up, no good, off the rim. And coming down with the bucket, Grambling State. Great job by Alexis Holt getting out in front of the pack.
In the Forte, she gets hit, but no foul. And now a foul here and one for Yancey. Excellent job by Yancey being able to get second chance opportunity. Hopefully that gives this Grambling team some momentum. Free throw up and good for Yancey. And now into the ball game now for Prairie View, Kennedy Hurd. She's going to take out Kiesia Williams. Prairie View working the ball around. It's a corner now, 3-ball on the way. That's good. Dominique Newman. She now has 9 points in the ball game. Ball worked inside now to Forte. She loses it. That's Newman now into the hands of Peters. Grambling State just continuing to turn the ball over, and Prairie View is making them pay. Shot no good. Paramore goes the other way. That's stolen though.
I mean, that ball is being just thrown all over the place by both of these teams right now. Here's a three-pointer just inside the three-point line by Peters, and coming back the other way is Grambling State. That's Alexis Holt with the ball going up, and there's going to be a foul coming up.
It's just a thing where Prairie View is coming out with more energy, they're playing their tempo of basketball. That's why they're going on such big runs and feeling themselves, as we say. They're playing their brand of basketball. And when you're playing your brand of basketball, you're playing, yourself, it just comes second nature, and everything just flows way more fluently.
Well, the other thing is that you start looking at some of the numbers here. First free throw is up and good. Neither team really shot well from the field as far as field goes. 5 for 11 for Grambling, 6 for 19 for Prairie View A&M. 3-point field goals, both of them made 3 each. Free throws really wasn't a big issue. It was in the first quarter. Second quarter, things turned around a little bit. That's where you saw Prairie View start to turn up the heat. They were 7 of 18 from the field. Grambling just 1 for 11. Prairie View was 3 of 7 from the three-point line. Grambling 0 for 5. The other big thing here, the turnovers, and we talked about that. Grambling just with 4 points in the second quarter. And remember, that game was tied 15-15 at the end of the first quarter. And got some free throws coming up here.
Looks like that foul is going to be against...
Oh, it's going to be under the bucket.
That foul is going to be against Harrison, her first.
Yeah, I thought they were going to say free throws at first. And so the Grambling Tigers, again, coming up on radio. We'll tell you about the Grambling Tiger men's basketball team. We will have them on Sports Talk 97.7 coming up this Monday night. So make sure that you tune in. 7:30, I believe we hit the airway. So make sure that you tune in, Sports Talk 97.7. And that was a good defensive play by the Grambling Lady Tigers. They come away with it. Paramore loses the ball. Now the ball's on the floor. Peters comes away with it. Another turnover there by the Lady Tigers. 38-26 to score. 4:49 remaining here in this third quarter of play. Next whistle should be a media timeout. Shot up and good. Hurd for 3, now 40-26.
Grambling State just doesn't have an answer right now.
Bad pass.
And unforced turnovers again.
Prairie View comes away with the basketball.
Three ball on the way, and that's Peters.
Peters has been lighting up Grambling. And now Coach Murray wants a timeout with an immediate timeout as well. 4:07 remaining in the third quarter play. 43-26 Grambling. is trailing. We'll take this 1 minute timeout. You're watching Grambling basketball on GSU TV and listening on Rejoice 96.3.
The Grambling State University app is here, and the features make it 100 times easier for you to navigate through the semester. Get direct access to your grades, student email, your Tiger One card, news, the KGRM radio station, campus events, local weather, and more. There's even a map that'll show you exactly where you are on campus so that you can get to where you need to be. In your free time, you can stay up to date with the latest social media posts from the Grambling State University, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So head over to the App Store and download the Grambling State mobile app today.
The world-famed Tiger Marching Band presents Click It or Ticket. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Hobby Assembly Center, the Grambling Lady Tigers trailing 43-26. And of course, something new that they're trying to do in order to help teams manage their timeouts, and that is they have the actual length of the timeout up on the scoreboard.
Only problem is that interferes with the actual
Because
clock.
when the teams come out, and if the clock is not done running, then of course they have to wait for that to run down and then of course go back to live play.
The problem with that is, and I've noticed this the last time they did it, it interferes with the actual game, the clock of the game, because
it
ticks down as well.
Well, no, it doesn't. It shouldn't, because one of the things that you're supposed to be able to do is stop. There's a function in there where the clock does not run, the game clock, but you can have the timeout clock go. We've seen that at a few other gyms before. Shot is up and good, and looked like that.
Like Bingham made a banger knee.
Yeah, because Bingham, she was looking a little bit. And here comes Grambling. And a steal. Bad pass by Yancey. This ball nearly goes out of bounds for Prairie View. That is going to be a traveling violation. And it comes back to the Lady Tigers. And we have another full timeout on the floor. Full timeout on the floor. We will take a timeout here. 1 minute timeout. 43-28. 3:11 left to go in the third quarter. We will be right back. Lady Tigers right now 43-28. They trail. They have not really had an answer yet to things that are going on. And really, it's not about what Prairie View is doing. It's about what they're doing. They have really turned the ball over a lot.
Absolutely. Just mental mistakes, unforced turnovers, like you said, just dumping the ball off, miscommunication. Little things like that go a very long way in a ball game.
Shot is up and good. Bingham with the shot. And now it is 43-30. Ball out of bounds, Grambling basketball. And it should be 43-30 the score. 2:37 remaining in the second quarter, or the third quarter rather. And of course, during our Quicken Loans post-game show, we will talk a little bit about, of course, other games going on in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Of course, Jackson is playing Texas Southern tonight. That men's game should be really good.
Very interesting.
Shot up, it's going to be an offensive foul. That was great presence there. Just had to take a charge. Great presence, and now Grambling, of course, gets the ball back. Ariel Williams back in the ball game. She has the rock. Now to Justice Coleman. Nice pass to Bingham. Bingham with the turnaround up, no good. And now Mariah Campbell not happy about the call. She's a 6'2 senior from Cincinnati. Paramore coming back in the ball game, as well as Tolbert. First free throw rattles in and out, no good. Nothing really has gone right for the Lady Tigers, and they're still in this ball game, very much so.
Still a lot of basketball left to be played.
Bingham gets that point, and now she has 5 points. 43-31 now the score. 2:07 remaining here in the third quarter of play. Early turnover. And so Jasmine Coleman trying to figure out where that foul came from.
When you're trying to get back into a ball game, you got to be a little more aggressive. They brought some full court pressure on that possession, and they almost had the turnover right there, but hopefully that foul didn't kill any momentum or tempo that Grambling State is trying to build here.
Justice Coleman will come out here momentarily. Defense turned up a little bit here for Grambling. Ariel Williams out on the ball. Prairie View spreading the floor out. 1:49 remaining here in the third quarter. 43-31 Grambling trailing. And the ball tipped. Peters lost it. Here comes Grambling. Paramore now has the basketball. Goes up for the shot. Good. And Mariah Campbell did not want to pick up a foul. She only has one. And again for the Lady Panthers, they have not lost or won a game yet in conference, and that shot is up and good. 45-33 now. And Williams at the line now for Prairie View A&M University. Keisha Williams, 5'9" senior from Bryan, Texas.
Just when it seems like Grambling is getting something going and they're getting in a rhythm, something happens.
3-point play. Should be 46-33 now. 13-point deficit with 1:17 remaining. And just think, if they don't hit this 3-point play, it's a 10-point lead. Grambling comes to the other side with a possibility of cutting it down into single digits. Now they got to play back from 13 down now with 1:12 remaining in the third quarter. Ariel Williams with a shot. Nope, no good. Ball tipped. Coming down with the basketball is Alexis Holt. And now Peters hopped over one player. She'll pull up the lefty. No good. And coming down with the basketball was Campbell. She had the ball knocked out of her hands. And going down on the floor with the basketball is Williams. Now there's a scramble for the ball on the far side in the corner. And a timeout called by Grambling. And we're going to keep it right here. No timeout here. And I think they're trying to see whether or not that the ball maybe have gone out of bounds or something happened, because that's what Coach Murray is trying to explain to the officials. Something may have happened here, but they're not going to charge him with the timeout.
I think that's the one big thing. He did not want to be charged with that timeout. So ball will stay with Grambling.
.46-33. Grambling is trailing. 37 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Paramore at the basketball. Now to Justice Coleman. She's defended. Now getting back out to Alexis Hope. Hope to Paramore. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Boy, she can't find a range. Yancey back to Ariel Williams. Now to Justice Coleman. There's about a 3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Ariel Williams now driving. Williams now with 8 seconds left on the play clock, on the shot clock. Yancey goes up for the shot. Oh, just rattles in good. There should still be about 3.7 left. There should be 3.7 seconds left on the game clock.
That buzzer was signaling the shot clock and not the actual game clock.
46-35 the score. And Coach Murray telling Paramore to go ahead and get back. Trying to defend the long pass. Alexis Holt and Paramore double teaming Peters, as she is a three-point threat.
Paramore would disagree with that statement, but
that ball goes out of bounds. The clock did not start. And that'll do it for the end of the third quarter with the score. The Grambling Lady Tigers trailing 46-35. We're getting ready for the fourth quarter. We'll take this timeout, 1 minute timeout. You're watching Grambling Basketball live on GSU TV and listening live on Rejoice 96.3 FM and Red Peach Radio. We'll be right back.
Grambling is growing. It's a community. Grambling is an education, an experience. Grambling is legacy, tradition, and the future. What is Grambling? Grambling is all of this and more. Grambling is the place where everybody is somebody.
Welcome back here to the Frederick C. Hobby Assembly Center on the campus of Grambling State University as we are about to start the fourth quarter. And, the Grambling Lady Tigers are scrapping, as you can see on the replay. They've been scrapping hard, trying to come back in this ball game. Paramore on the floor trying to get the basketball. But the biggest thing for the Grambling Lady Tigers is just the turnovers in this contest. Grambling, in the ball game so far, 19 turnovers, Prairie View with 12. Prairie View 24 points off the turnovers, Grambling 12. In the paint, both teams scoring 18 points, but at least Grambling, they won the battle in the third quarter, outscoring Prairie View 16-13, but they got a long way to go. That second quarter really hurt them.
absolutely, that second quarter didn't do anything for them but just put them in a hole. So now they're trying to dig themselves out of it.
Shot up and good by Prairie View A&M University, inside the paint. It's Kennedy Paul, the 6'1" forward. And now Grambling with the basketball, 48-35. 9:33 remaining in the fourth quarter. Prairie View gets the ball off the Grambling turnover. Once again, Grambling can't control. And now Prairie View keeps the ball, but they turn the ball over themselves. As Dominique Newman was trying to save the basketball, Grambling came away with it. Paramore for three, good. And Paramore finally getting that three-pointer that has been eluding her for much of the ball game. She now has 11 points in the contest, leading all scores for the Lady Tigers. That's now 48-38. Shot up and good on the other side by Diana Rosenthal in the paint, turning around, going up and down, and getting a big bucket. Perez getting ready to check it back into the ball game here for Prairie View A&M University. Paramore gets the ball knocked out of her hands by Rosenthal.
Grambling trying so hard to fight back into this game, but it seems they have to fight just to keep the score where it is.
Peters will come out of the ball game. 50-38 the score. Lady Tigers trailing, 8:43 remaining in the game. For Prairie View A&M University, the leading scorer in the ball game in the lineup for Prairie View A&M University is Keisha Williams, 5'9" senior. She has 10 points. Dominique Newman with 9. Paramore with the basketball. She has 11 points. Now back out to Ariel Williams, right side to Yancey. Yancey looking on the inside, will drive, goes up for the shot. Foul coming up against Prairie View on the shot. Williams with the foul for Prairie View A&M University. That'll be her second. And going to the free throw line will be Yancey. First shot is up and good. Yancey, one more free throw. She's played in 14 games this season.
She made the second, so now she has 10 points in this contest. So a 10-point ball game.
Not averaging a ton of points, about 5.5 points a ball game, but those are big points at a big time. Prairie View still with the basketball, looking on the inside now, and there's going to be a foul.
Away from the ball.
Going to be an offensive foul charge to Prairie View A&M. 50-40 the score, and now Grambling can bring it down inside of 10 points. And we got the official.
You want something done right, do it yourself.
The official saying, I got it, just go ahead and give it to me. I'll go ahead and get the condensation up. I think that's a first. Coach Pugh telling her players to get up in front of the half-court line. Now Yancey will come across the half-court line, and she has the ball taken away from her. And now Paramore has the ball taken away takes away the ball away from a Prairie View player. Yancey gets a foul, and she tried to steal the ball, and it'll be Prairie View basketball. 2-3 steals on that play. Coming away with the basketball right now is Perez. 7:59 remaining in the ball game. 50-40 our score. Williams now has control. She's defended by Yancey. Looking on the inside. Shot up, no good by Paul. Paramore has the ball knocked out of her hands as she goes in for the shot on the fast break. And it will be Grambling basketball. 7:41 remaining here in the contest. Grambling with the basketball, Alexis Holt. Holt goes in, can't hit the shot. Boy, they needed that shot. Down 10 points. Grambling on defense now. Perez with the basketball. Williams now on the inside, getting it to Hurd, and Hurd with the shot up and good. Kennedy her, shooting about 39% from the field. Averaging about 3 or 4 points a ball game.
A foul coming up. Looks like that's on Dominique
Newman, and that is her third, I believe. Should be her third foul. And so now Dominique Newman with 3, and Diana Rosenthal also with 3 fouls. Newman will come out of the ball game. Long pass on the inbound, and that comes out to Washington for the Lady Tigers. Shot up and good. That's Ariel Williams. 52-42 now the score. Grambling trailing by 10 once again. 6:47 remaining in the ball game. Prairie View with the basketball, and this is going to be a foul. It's going to be charged to Washington.
Washington thought she was going to go up, but she actually lost the ball. So she inadvertently got psyched out.
Coming in the ball game now, Jasmine Forte. Forte just a sophomore. And now a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Just a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. So you got 30-second timeout. So with this game here, I think they're going to go to a full timeout. We're still going to keep it here? So one of the things that's going to be important here for the Lady Tigers to do with, 6:37 left to go in the ball game, one is got to cut down on the turnovers. You got to convert those on the other side. But I think the other thing is they're allowing Prairie View A&M to get some cheap shots.
You know, you want to be able to let them like have those little cheap shots, but at the same time, you are hoping they don't go in because you're still trying to get into this ball game. So at the same time, you can live with certain shots, but at the same time, you really can't.
Yeah. 6:37 remaining in the ball game. 52-42 is our score. Grambling will take on Texas Southern coming up on Monday night. It is, of course, the official Martin Luther King Day holiday. Lady Tigers will start at 5:30. The men will start at 7:30. And then, hey, something great going on in the state of Louisiana. The NOLA Gospel Awards coming up in New Orleans this weekend. Of course, they have a independent artist showcase on Friday, and then, of course, a big award ceremony on Saturday, which will be at McDonough 35 down in New Orleans. The new school down on Cadillac Street in the Crescent City. So some great things going on here in the boot, as they call it. So make sure that you kind of check in on Facebook and some social media things to find out what's going on. The Jazz Festival is coming up pretty soon in New Orleans. Prairie View with the basketball. 6:31 remaining here in this third quarter of play. Oh, it's going to be a foul coming up. It's going to be on Justice Coleman. And so for Justice Coleman, I believe that's her second personal foul, maybe third.
They're going to charge that as her third foul, so playing with a little bit of fire now when you leave them in with 3 fouls.
Yep, and 52-42 our score, still down just 10 points, but they get the ball back here. And they need to make something happen.
If you're going to start something, now's the time to do it.
Prairie View with the basketball right now. Right side. That's Diana Rosenthal. Now she'll come back towards the middle. Gets it now back to the right. That's Perez. Perez to Rosenthal. Now top of the key, and that's going to be Diana Rosenthal. Three-pointer, good. We're going to call it 2.
Just inside the three-point line, so it is 2.
2-point bucket, 54-42 now. And a foul coming up.
Primo had the lane and she went right at it and was able to draw the foul, so now she has a chance to cut this lead back down to 10.
Paramore will go to the free throw line here. 5:55, triple nickel left on the clock. 54-42 the score. First free throw is up, and it's good. So Super Bowl is just around the corner. What's a Super Bowl tradition you have?
That's an actually interesting one. I don't really have too many Super Bowl traditions, but just
Is that because Detroit hasn't been to the Super Bowl lately?
I knew that was coming. But find whoever's throwing a party and eat all the food.
Yeah.
That's my tradition.
Yep. That sounds about like a college kid. If who's cooking, who has the best food, we're just going to go everywhere until we find out how much food we're going to eat.
And who has the biggest TV?
Yep. 54-44, 5:35 remaining in the ball game. Shot up and no good. Shot up again and no good on the Prairie View side, and a foul coming up against Grambling.
So now, since we're talking about Super Bowl traditions, do you have two separate Super Bowl traditions? One for the Super Bowl as in general, and one for if the Green Bay Packers make the Super Bowl?
Yeah, for the Super Bowl, I have 2 cheese heads my stepdad sent me before he passed. I have one for me and one for my son. And so we'll wear the cheese heads in the playoff games. We'll have brats as well. Now, if we don't make the Super Bowl, as long as we eat well, we're fine. First free throw is up and good. 65-44, 5:24 remaining in the ball game. Yeah, the food is the most important part of the Super Bowl, man.
Absolutely. Gotta eat good.
Gotta have some good food.
Are you a commercial guy at all? Do you care about the commercials?
So, kind of. I enjoy a good commercial, especially if it's one that intrigues me or whatever the case is. But, the lengthy short movie film commercials, those you can have. 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and I'm good. But if you start doing things that are 2 minutes long, no. Coming out of the ball game now for Prairie View A&M University is Cobb. Grambling with the basketball. Grambling with the basketball. Here's Jasmine, and she goes in and she gets the bucket. That's Justice Coleman, rather. 56-46, 4:52 remaining in the ball game. And, of course, Prairie View is trying to play for their first conference win. They are 0-3 right now, 3-3 overall, 0-7 on the road.
Three on the way. That's an air ball.
Tough one. And one.
That's the type of momentum, and that's the type of thing you need to have if you want to come back into this ball game. Now it is a single-digit contest, and that actually brought some life into the arena.
Yep, now down to 10 points here, or 8 points, I should say. 56-48, 4:19 remaining here in this fourth quarter of play. Free throw is up and good. I believe the next dead ball will be the media timeout. Prairie View with the ball, trying to find an opening. 56-49, Grambling trailing by just 7 points. Prairie View still controlling the ball, trying to find something to do with it here. 18 seconds left on the shot clock. 3:44 remaining in the game. Peters with the basketball. Shot up and good. Mariah Campbell, 56-49. There is Bingham with the shot up, no good. Rebound by Ariel Williams. She loses the basketball, and Prairie View comes away with it. 58-49, Grambling trailing by 10. Trailing by 9. 3:10 remaining here in the ball game. And I don't think we've had the media timeout yet.
You can see Prairie View is in no rush to get anything done. They have the lead. They're just letting the clock wind down as much as they can.
And a turnover. Here comes Grambling with 2:48 left. Paramore goes in, foul.
That foul is going to be on Peters. That's her first of the ball game.
Yep, got 2 Grambling players coming in.
Yancey came in, and I believe Holt came in as well.
Yep. I think they've smooth went over that media timeout. 2:46 remaining in the ball game. Coming up after the game, we'll take a timeout, and then, of course, we'll come back. We'll have Coach Freddie Murray on after the game on, of course, Red Peach Radio and Rejoice 96.3 FM. And then about 30 minutes from there, the men's teams will step on the floor to see what they will offer between Grambling and, of course, Prairie View A&M University. Free throw is up and good. 51-58.
Slight full court pressure being brought by Ariel Williams. Prairie View able to get it across, though.
They get across. That's some good defense. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. As you can hear the fans, that's almost a steal. Justice Coleman couldn't get it. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Now 6 seconds. Here comes Prairie View. That's Perez going up for the shot. Good with 2 seconds left on the shot clock. You know, if you're going to work the shot clock down and you can use the entire clock to come away with 2 points is big for Prairie View. 60-51 now back to a 9-point lead. Grambling with the basketball. And now Holt has it. Loose ball. Prairie View comes away with it. 2:01 left to go in the ball game. Here comes the Lady Panthers. Rosenthal gets the ball down the floor, up and good. Back up to an 11-point lead now for Prairie View. Just when Grambling gets it into single digits, the Lady Panthers turn it around. Foul coming up on Prairie View. Rosenthal with the foul. And we have a timeout on the floor. For our GSU TV folks, we'll take a quick timeout here for radio. We'll keep it here. GSU TV will take this timeout. We'll be right back.
Get direct access to your grades, student email, your Tiger One card, news, the KGRM radio station, campus events, local weather, and more. There's even a map that'll show you exactly where you are on campus so that you can get to where you need to be. In your free time, you can stay up to date with the latest social media posts from the Grambling State University, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So head over to the App Store and download the Grambling State mobile app today.
The world-famed Tiger Marching Band presents Click It or Ticket. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Call it travel now on Prairie View A&M University, and it will come back to the Lady Tigers. 62-52 the score.
Hey, you over there with the superstar on. You got to fucking time to get the ball.
Shia Flowers and Donovan Travis will have the Quicken Loans post-game report immediately following the game. Yancey with the basketball. Also, we want to thank our good friends at Coors for all of their sponsorship, love, and support. Coors, proud supporters of Grambling State University. And now another timeout here by Grambling with 1:16 remaining, 62-53. And we're going to keep it right here. Men coming up about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game. We will have a post-game show on the radio side, so make sure you stay tuned for that. If we can, we'll try to get Coach over here for a few comments, but they're fighting, and I think that's the biggest thing is that they are fighting.
Absolutely. If you're going to go down, you don't want to go down in defeat. You're going to go out swinging. So definitely still play the game how it's supposed to be played. Definitely, still get a feel for what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and just see how you operate as a team. Because if you guys are, just wallowing your head in defeat or you're panicking in certain situations, you won't be able to get much done in the long run.
.116 remaining in the ball game, 62-53. Grambling trailing by 9. They have the basketball. Peters controlling. She has 12 points, second on the team in scoring tonight. Leading the way is Williams with 14 points. And now they are just spreading out the floor, kind of playing an open offense. Ball all over the place, and a foul coming up on Grambling. 49.5 seconds, 62-53 to score. Well, the Lady Tigers fought in the second half, and there's no denying that. But this game was all about Prairie View. After the score was tied, I might add, at 10-10 or 15-15 after the first quarter, Prairie View dominated the Lady Tigers 18-4 in the second quarter. Then Grambling made a start to making a comeback 16-13 in the fourth quarter. Lady Tigers now, though, trail by 9 and now by 10.
And you said it, that second quarter really hurt them. Only one field goal. The other points came off of free throws. But that second quarter, 1 for 11 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3. That can't get anything done with that.
41 seconds remaining in the ball game.
And loose ball, and Prairie View picks it up. You got to imagine they're just going to keep milking the clock.
Oh, yeah. And they're going to call a jump ball, 31 seconds left.
And a technical foul has been called on Paramore?
And her coaches are coming to her defense.
Coach Murray obviously does not like the explanation that he was giving.
No, at all.
That was about as clear as a foul you can get. She was on her back.
Don't know how much more of a foul you could get on that, but nonetheless, technical foul here with 31.6 left. And Prairie View will shoot the technical. And of course, I have Peters out there. She's been clutch tonight. She has 12 points. And really, they're not blaming Paramore. That was an emotional part of the ball game. And first free throw is up and good. Back to a 9-point lead. Should say 11-point lead. Second free throw is good, and now Prairie View will get the ball.
Coach Murray is still getting the explanation from the referee.
And whatever it was, Coach Murray was just, real subdued about it.
I hear you.
Yeah. 65-53, 31.6 seconds remaining. Prairie View with the basketball after the technical foul shots. Prairie View with the basketball. Foul on Alexis Holt. 25.9 remaining. Well, if Grambling does not win this game, they go to 1-4 in conference play.
2-14 on the season.
There's a few games that we know that they probably could have won. The Alabama State game was theirs for the taking, and that was after beating Alabama A&M. And then, of course, they've had a number of other games. The Florida game comes to mind. They were close. The Tech game, that game was right there. Late call. against against Grambling, a 5-second call, getting the ball in bounds, and they lose the contest.
FIU as well. That
was a
lost
close
that game
game.
by a score of 56-55, 1-point game.
So that's 3 games there that they had close. And we have a timeout on the floor with 25.9 seconds remaining.
Grambling State University would like to recognize
67-53 is the score.
GSU Athletics.
And we will keep it right here. Who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl? Let's just take tomorrow. Who's your winners tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I will have to give it to. Sorry, I got to give it to the Niners. I have to give it to the Niners, and then I say, I thought you were about to take your headphones off. I'll give it to the Niners, and then the Titans. They've had a good run, but I don't see them making it out of Arrowhead.
Well,
You obviously know who you're going for.
no,
Impartial.
absolutely not. I want Green Bay to win. I am definitely partial to Green Bay. From Wisconsin, we're going to have cheese and brats. That's very Wisconsinite.
How is the missus going to take that one?
She likes cheese and brats. Yeah. She just is going to have her 49er drill. 21 seconds remaining. Ball goes out of bounds. Back to Grambling. 67-53. Child Flowers and Donovan Travis giving you the post-game show. Sponsored by Quicken Loans immediately following the game. It's going to be a foul coming up on Prairie View. I'll tell you, a lot of whistles here in the last few minutes of the ball game.
Foul against Diana Rosenwald. Ariel Williams at the line, shooting 2.
Ariel Williams at the line now for the Lady Tigers. One more free throw at the line for Ariel Williams. Shot is up, and it is good. And we've got 2 subs coming in, one for Grambling, and that's going to be Washington. We have another timeout on the floor. And that's going to be another 30-second timeout. So we'll take a 30-second timeout. 30-second timeout. When we come back, we'll have the end of this one for you. 67-54. Grambling on top, 17 seconds remaining. We'll be right back.
What is